there are certain things in life that I hate. That's war, that's discrimination, mosquitoes, and last but not least, faded trim pieces. I hate faded trim pieces. Welcome back to the channel, me and Carter. This is our 2017 Mazda CX5 Grand Touring Edition. You have to say it that way, Grand Touring. Sorry, I won't do that again. Grand Touring Edition in Mica Jet Black is the color that Mazda calls this. This is the most beautiful color ever on a Mazda, aside from the red. I like the red. But one problem with the Mazda is this. This is supposed to be black. When we first got this, this was black. It was matte black all the way around. And now it's a hideous gray color. I don't even know what you call it now. And it looks worse against the black. So if you had this on like a white or like a red, probably wouldn't look as bad, but with the black, it looks horrible. I want to give a huge shout out to Jimmy. Big shout out to Jimmy. What's up, man? Jimmy is, I call Jimmy my advisor. So Jimmy suggested something to fix this faded trim pieces. And that recommendation was Cerakote. So Cerakote Ceramic Trim Coat Restoration Kit. Easy to apply coating. So I've heard of Cerakote, but I've never used it before. So on the back of Cerakote, it says one coat lasts for 200 washes or more, guaranteed. I like that. So step one in this kit was to wash the Mazda. Step two, dry it off. So the instructions say wash and dry, of course. Must be applied between 60 and 75. I think it's about 58 degrees right now, something like that. So we should be close enough, hopefully. Tip, open and close doors, trunk, and hood several times for any trapped water. That's cool. Wear gloves. The other side says, important. This is a permanent product intended to restore faded, untreated, unpainted exterior trim, not for use on interior trim, new trim, or plastic window trim. Please follow all instructions! Exclamation point. Always read the instructions. We let it sit with the doors open for 5 minutes, clean the windows, hit the wheels with some tire shine. Y'all, this Mazda is looking amazing. Yeah, I think it's about time for some wheels. Maybe not yet. Okay, wait, we'll get to it. Always wear chemical resistant gloves while handling. This must be some strong stuff. Maximum strength. Yeah. So if it's like this, it must mean there are gloves inside. Yes, we got gloves. Perfect. All right, so this is how big our pads are. And like I said, there are 10 of them. It should be plenty enough to do this whole Mazda. So we're just gonna give it a wipe. Start here. That wasn't a good first swipe. Get a little closer there. All right. All right, let's just go across. How about that? Come back down. Pretty sure there's a better technique to doing this than what I'm doing, but the pad is actually very slippery, so I keep slipping out of my hands. Whoa. Yeah, that's a big difference. Hey, y'all, look at the difference, okay? I just put it on, so it hasn't dried yet. And they say wait for an hour before you drive it or before it's in direct sunlight, so we're gonna let it sit here. I'm gonna let this sit and I'm gonna do the other pieces, and I'm gonna leave it like this so we can see the difference. And I'm gonna go around the front of the car and do the rest of it. Now, also, be very careful because they say it's supposed to be dry when you do it, so I'm happy I didn't go this way. It's still wet, so I probably need to make sure it's dry all first before I keep going. All right, y'all, we are looking good, y'all. That looks amazing. This is after an hour of letting it sit. That looks 100,000 times better than it did before. Now look how faded that looks now compared to the new treated section. Looks like a brand new car, y'all. It looks like a completely brand new car. Now, I do need to give some tips, all right? So if you're gonna do this, please take heed to my tips. Tip number one, make sure it's dry. Make sure it's completely dry. I would recommend, if you wash your car, I recommend giving it like an hour before you even do this. Like you see, so I dried it, and I mean, there was still water. Like right here, we did the front right there, and there was still water dripping right there in the middle as I was doing it. So it kind of bothered me a little bit, but it still looks good. Now, another tip I can give is the corner, some of the hard to get areas, like the corners. Like, let me show you, like in here where the trim actually meets the body of the car. The best thing you can do is use your fingernail. Take it, and then, you know, just use your fingernail like that and just get up there in those corners as best you can. The other option would be to, and I can recommend this, but you gotta be careful when you do this. Use like a small screwdriver or something like this. Very, very small. Thinking that you wrap it around your coating applicator and then do it that way, like up in here, like these tight areas, like that hole right there. I use this and I gently just, you know, went in there like that, all down here in those areas that are really hard to get, that you can't get your finger in. Use something like that. Just be extremely careful because you don't want to scratch your trim pieces. So when I first started doing this, I had a bit of concern because I noticed you could see some brush strokes in there. This is way better than it was. So this needs to dry. They suggest letting it dry for an hour before you put it in direct sunlight or before you move it, before you drive it or anything, so that you don't get any debris on it, you don't want to get any dirt on it, you don't get any moisture or any water that you might go through a puddle or something like that. So let it sit for an hour. And as we've been letting it sit, all these brush strokes that were originally in there, they're slowly disappearing. So as the product dries, it gets real thick and kind of sticky. So once it dries all the way, then all these strokes won't be in there. And you can't even really see that, can you? There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All those strokes will be gone once it dries up. All right, one last tip, I almost forgot. If you look at places like this, like between the doors, open the door. And then you can get down in that trim piece right there, so that, because that piece is going to be showing, you don't want that to show. So, perfect. Same thing goes up here. Try to kind of just smush it in and get as much of it as you can. They say it's probably not going to be perfect, but get it as close to perfect as you can. That looks better, way better. So now we have a brand new Mazda CX5. I think it's time for some wheels. What do you think? Time for wheels? Wheels? No? Yeah. I think it's time for wheels. We got to get wheels. So I think big shout outs to Cerakote. Big shout outs to Jimmy for suggesting Cerakote. Motivation Crew, I do appreciate it. This looks like a brand new vehicle, front to back, and I love it. All right. But this has been a thorn in my eyesight since I've gotten this truck. That's next, okay? We're gonna do that next. I got this off of Amazon. This was only $16 on Amazon. So I only used 6 of the 10 packs, so I got 4 left to use on the truck. So it's actually a good buy. I think it's an awesome product. If you need anything, the link's in the description below. And like I said, it's very easy to apply. You just clean, dry, wipe it on, and you're good to go for 200 washes. So I'm gonna do an update video in about 6 months and let you know how this stuff is holding up. So I'm happy that we found this stuff because I originally planned on popping all these trim pieces off and painting them myself, every single one of them. And I'm happy I don't have to do that. Thanks to Cerakote, I don't have to do that. So if you got anything out of this video, put in the comments below. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Motivation Crew, that's me, that's you. Y'all have done it again. Motivation Crew, because this was one of you guys', big shout out to Jimmy, this is one of you guys' suggestions. So Motivation Crew, that's me, that's you, that's what we do. All right, till next time, thank you for watching.